Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another NFL video. Today we'll be talking about the NFC East, big time division in NFC, going through the record prediction, wins and losses. Let's get right into it. Starting off with the Cowboys. Cowboys had a solid season last year. They got a bunch of players in the draft to counter the Eagles. And free agency, Brandon Cooks traded for him and traded for Gilmore as well. So they got better on the defensive side, and offensively got another weapon. They cut Ezekiel Elliott, but they believe Tony Pollard and the guy they drafted from what's cool? Kansas State? Is it Kansas State? Kansas State, I believe it was. I forgot his name. He's a smaller back, but a speedy one. He got a line that could block, so you got that. I have the Cowboys going 11-16, starting off really nice with a 5-game win streak, beating the Niners. Brock Purdy may be back in that game. I don't know. Depends. I mean, if I'm the 49ers, I'm trying to get him back for that game. But you never know. I have him losing to the Chargers in LA, losing to the Eagles in Philly, going back on a win streak, beating the Giants. I have him sweeping the Giants, and then losing to the Eagles both occasions. And the reason for that is I believe the Eagles got way better, and the only reason they lost, the Philadelphia Eagles lost their second game last year to the Cowboys, was because of Gardner Minshew. They didn't have Jalen Hurts. I mean, you can never know about injuries, but I believe the Eagles do sweep the Cowboys this year. And I believe the Cowboys sweep the Giants as well. And then going on a losing streak right here, a 4-game loss streak, losing to the Lions. I think the Lions will upset the Cowboys late in the season. I think the Lions will have to win that game right there to make playoffs. Very important game for the Lions. Lions seem to come through every time when it comes down to it. Last year, they beat the Packers in Lambeau Field. They didn't make playoffs, but they still had a big-time upset for the Packers, who, if they would have won that game, they would have made the playoffs, and they would have, had a chance, And I did the Lions do that right here. And then they beat the Commanders to end the season off. But 4 key games for the Cowboys. That Jets game early in the season, Aaron Rodgers, and that team should be good early in the season, I feel like. That Niners game, is Brock Purdy going to be back? Big-time rivalry. Might see him in the playoffs again. Wouldn't doubt it. That Seahawks game, Sunday night game, I'm pretty sure. And then the Eagles at Dallas, very important game. Maybe for the division. You never know. But I have the Eagles beating them in Dallas. New York Giants, they got Jalen Hyatt. They got a guard or center. I can't remember their name. Oh, man. And they also got Dante Banks, who fits their defense very, very, very nice. And offseason, I don't really think they did much offseason. They franchise tagged Saquon Barkley, but he hasn't signed it. I think that time already passed, for him to sign it. So I don't know what's going on with Saquon Barkley. They signed Daniel Jones to a 4-year contract, guaranteed money. So they gave Daniel Jones a contract. That's really it for the Giants right there, to be honest. And then your coach won Coach of the Year as well. So I have them going 8-9. I don't want to be. I know the Giants have a lot of high expectations this year. I haven't been in the Niners early in the season. Losing to the Cowboys first game out. Losing to the Seahawks. That Bills-Dolphins run right there. Yeah, they're not winning those ones. Losing to the Jets in New York. That's a fight for New York City right there. Or New Jersey, whatever one. And losing to the Cowboys, Washington, Saints, Eagles. Basically, big-time teams I have them losing to, essentially, if you look at it like that. So 8-9 for the Giants. My 4 key games for the Giants. That New York City game, big-time game for both of those fan bases. The Packers game, Sunday night, Monday night, one of those dates. Jordan Love versus Daniel Jones. I want to see that one. And then Washington versus the Giants. I think Washington and the Giants are going to be neck and neck to make the playoffs. It's going to be one of those teams. I believe 3 teams from the NFC East are going to make playoffs. It's going to be either the Giants or the Washington. So it's one of those teams. Those games are going to be very, very important for playoffs. And then the last game of the season for the Giants against the Eagles. The Eagles may be resting players for that game, so I do have the Giants winning that game. And it might be the decision for the Eagles, you know. Do we want the Giants to make playoffs or do we want the Commanders to make playoffs? So I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those games late in the season. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, they made big-time moves. They re-signed a bunch of their guys, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, Bradbury. He let Johnson walk, which is unfortunate, but you ended up getting Sidney Brown in the draft, so you're all good. You ended up landing Jalen Carter, so you got way better on that defensive line, and you also got Noah Smith, who's a freakish of an athlete, kind of like Sweat from Washington. Has that same freakish nature, you know, to him, and have them going 15-2. I believe this is the best record I have in all of football this year, having them going 15-2, losing to the Chiefs for that revenge game. They might win that game as well. I feel like, I don't know. That game's very hard to predict. I feel like the Eagles are going to play that one more emotionally and more of like I need to win it now. But at the same time, the Chiefs have to win that game because the AFC is so stacked. And like I said, for that division, the Chiefs could easily lose that division. So winning that game would help them big time. But very tough game, very entertaining game right there. And then losing to the Giants late in the season, again, that's literally a game if they might. It's literally a game it's a game they might have to like pick the Giants, Washington, whoever is like they get to pick who makes playoffs, you know. If the Giants lose, I'm pretty sure someone else gets in or something like that. It's going to end up being like that, but mainly losing to the Chiefs. They could lose to the Dolphins as well. That's a tough game. They can also lose to Washington. Last year they lost to Washington as well. The run game, they couldn't stop it. They do have Carter, so they kind of, you know, sealed that void up, but yeah, you never know. You never know what team could upset a tank of the Eagles, you know. And then my top 4 games: Dolphins game, Bills game, Niners game. That Niners game should be pretty good later in the season. Niners will probably be fighting for their lives to take that division. Because I don't think they're going to start really good in the beginning because Brock Purdy might not be there. I think they'll should end the season off really nice. We're playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. That should be a really good game. And then the last Cowboys game later in the season in Dallas. That should be a really good game. Can the Eagles sweep the Cowboys? Should be a good one. All right, the Washington Commanders, they have a solid roster all around. They have a nice front 5 on that defensive line, decent corners, good running backs, good receivers, decent line. You have a rookie quarterback this year, essentially. He only played like 2 games last year. So you got a rookie quarterback. I have him going 7-10. I want them to do better. But I think this is what realistically is going to happen. Beating the Cardinals first game, losing to the Broncos in Denver, losing to the Bills, losing to the Eagles, beating the Bears, beating the Falcons, losing to the Giants, losing to the Eagles, so losing both games to the Eagles. But they could beat the Eagles with that run game, but Jalen Carter probably is the difference maker in that. Beating the Patriots and the Seahawks game, 2 run-heavy teams, rookie quarterback. I'm gonna go with some Scary Terry over. It's very hard because they have Smith now, and they got Nick Jigba, so that's very tough as well. The Seahawks should be very good this year, but I have the Commanders taking that one, beating the Giants mid-season, losing to the Cowboys, losing to the Dolphins, beating the Rams, losing to the Jets. That Jets game should be pretty competitive though, and then losing to the Niners and Cowboys to end the season off. My 4 key games for the Commanders: that Broncos game, Giants game, Eagles game they could possibly upset, and that late season Jets game where they could also possibly upset late in the season, which is going to be very important for both teams. The Jets may be needing to win late season games to make playoffs, and Commanders may have to do the same exact thing. And that's it. The NFC East, big time division. It should be. I'm predicting 3 of the teams from this division to make playoffs. That happened last year. I don't see it really changing. So, yeah, I might go. So we have one more division to go, and that is the AFC North. In my opinion, the hardest division in the league. Ravens, Steelers, Browns, big time division. Gonna go over it. And then for the NFL, I think I'm gonna do playoff predictions. Like who's gonna be the first seed, who's gonna be the 8th seed, and stuff like that. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. If you want more NFL video, I'm gonna do it either way because that's something I love, something I know a lot about. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.